Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of MagicReview.com. Today, we got some old gold here, folks. The Royal Road to Card Magic. Technically, R. Paul Wilson on the Royal Road to Card Magic. A complete course in card magic. And what you're getting is this big old thing here. 5 DVDs, $80, and 5 freaking star stone status of gem. There's been other attempts to publish DVDs based on classic books. And in many ways they were successful, and in many ways they were a failure. And it's, you take a classic piece of literature, something like Royal Road to Card Magic, for example, and it's so comprehensive, so complete, it's so well written, even though the language is a bit dated and a little hard to read in today's time. My son's reading my copy of it right now, and he's 14. He's struggling to get through some of the language that they use just because people don't speak that way anymore. But that aside, the structure of it is, all right, let's talk about this sleight or this move or this technique, and here's how it works, and here's how to practice it, and this and that, and now here's 3 or 4 tricks that use that technique. And then, okay, let's take it to the next level and learn a new sleight, and let's make a routine that uses that, and so on and so forth. In that regard, Paul Wilson follows the book to a T. I mean, it's not whether the book is better than the movie or the DVD or vice versa. They both work really well hand in hand. And in fact, throughout the presentation of the DVD, they have you refer to the book, and it's almost like this is the lecture in college that goes hand in hand with the textbook. It's that kind of a thing. It's just very well done, and every single sleight and move and trick and everything it's got its own chapter, and so it's very easy to reference. You go to the menu and just scroll down, and you can pick whatever you want to learn and click on it, and you got it. So I mean, each DVD has like 50 chapters or whatever to cover a lot of material. My first thought when I got this, I've had this in my collection for, I don't know, probably the year it came out, which was 7, 8 years ago or something like that. And I've watched it, I watched it once when I first got it, and I was very impressed with it. But when I went into it, I was totally expecting to, it's going to be stuff I know. I'm going to skip a lot of it. I'm just, but it'd be nice to see some of these tricks performed that I've read about, that I read over the years. By the way, I used to do an entire act that was 100% out of Royal Road to Card Magic, so that's how great that book is. Anyway, there was stuff on this DVD that completely fooled me. And I'm like, wait a minute. I've read this book more than once. I used to do stuff in this book. It's a classic book. How is it he fooled me? And I'm like, I just don't remember reading that in the book, but sure enough, it's there. Or maybe when I read it in the book, I didn't think it would work as cleanly or clearly as it does, or whatever. But there's some great material performed on here, right out of Royal Road to Card Magic. And so, to me, I'm not saying get this instead of the book. If you don't own the book, are you kidding me? You shouldn't be watching these videos. You should be reading that book. Go buy it. But get that and this. The book itself is so dirt cheap these days. It's I believe it's public domain now. And so you can get just a $5 or $6 copy of it, I think, through Dover. It's pretty cheap. If you can get your hands on the original orange hardback cover version, get that just because it's cool. But if you can't afford that or you can't find one, then you can get this $6 or $7 version from Dover and then spend another $80 and get this. And so for $90, you have literally the most comprehensive course in card magic that you can imagine. Now, this is designed, the DVD and the book were designed to take somebody with zero knowledge of magic at all and take them through from beginner all the way to a master's level course in card magic. And by the end of the set, the DVD or the book, you are a very good magician if you followed all the levels, a card magician, if you followed everything through. But that said, I just told you, I've been doing magic for 20-something years, and there was stuff in here that fooled me, and that I felt like a kid again. I was like, wow, that's some great stuff. And my point is, there's stuff in here even for the working pros. If you feel like, I read that book and there's nothing in it for me, you're wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong. Unless you're just not a card performer at all, then that's fine. But if you do card magic at all, you've got to have this in your collection. It's just great to see another working pro, Paul Wilson, his take on the material. And there were a few, like some of the effects in the book, and I agree with him, the methods were kind of weird, and he changed the method a little bit and made it a better effect. So it's nice to see how he took something that's a classic book and he sort of modified it a little bit. It made it easier to do, but still get the same effect out of it. And it doesn't cover 100% of what's in the book, but man, it's like 90%. I mean, it's all there. So if you're looking for a great refresher, or sorry for the shameless plug, but my book 793.8, it's all about trying to recreate that feeling of wonder and astonishment that you had before you got into magic, and the first maybe year you were in magic, that you and I and all of us have forgotten since then. This was a reminder of that feeling, and seeing this magic performed just brought back so many cool memories and really helped me remember how powerful this stuff really is. So I cannot recommend this high enough. $80, and you get a complete course on card magic from A to Z, for beginners to intermediate to pros, everything you can imagine, all right here. 5 stars. Stone Status of Gem. What, you may ask, is the random iTunes song of the moment? Let us find out together. Sorry, my iTunes wasn't up. There we go. Yes, Metallica. The Four Horsemen. Funny. Wait, I thirst. This is off their very first album. Love that guitar, man. Oh, yeah. So, as many of you know, I filmed these reviews in advance, and that's why it's like, why is Jeff always wearing the same shirt in every freaking video? It's because they're all shot back to back. And I mention this all the time in my videos, especially when Metallica comes up, that if you go through my playlist, there's over 120 something Metallica tunes. That's number 1. Number 2 is about 90 something Taylor Swift tunes, and then number 3 is Iron Maiden. It's around in the 80s somewhere. So that's the 3 most. I have the most songs from those 3 artists. The very first review that I filmed today was a Taylor Swift was Hook Random iTunes song of the moment. The second one I filmed today was Iron Maiden, and the third one, which is the one you're watching right now, Metallica. So they're all right there. Anyway, Four Horsemen, that's the very first album. It's called Kill 'Em All. It's not what you think. They're not talking about killing people. Well, they are, but they're more talking about war and that kind of thing. Anyway, that's a great album, man. If you're a Metallica fan, you probably already own it. If you're new to Metallica, and hopefully I'm inspiring you to get their music, that's a great album. That's the very first one, and that's when Cliff Burton was still with them before he was killed in a car accident, or a bus accident, I should say. Anyway, don't get me started on that. It's sad, tragic loss to the music industry. So I'm going to stop rambling right now and just say, hey, thanks for watching. See you guys on my next review. Peace out.